Hello everyone, I am Hussein and this is News Distillate, your go-to source for the latest news, where we will provide you with the news you need to know without taking up too much of your time. And now, let's get started with our first news with my co-host Emma.
Thank you, Hussein. Good evening, everyone. My name is Emma, and I'm here to tell you about a family that's larger than life. Ferdinand Marcos was the president of the Philippines in 1965, and his wife Imelda was by his side. They wanted to be seen as mythical figures with a divine right to rule, even though their power was really a dictatorship. Ferdinand Marcos was in charge for 2 decades, and then in 2022, his son Bongbong was elected president. Bongbong has been talking about the Marcos era as if it was a golden age, which is a way of rewriting history. This is the story of the Marcos family and how melodrama, paranoia, love, betrayal, and a hunger for power can be used to create a myth that can control a whole nation. The United States was also involved in this story, as Ferdinand Marcos's faithful sidekick. Authoritarianism is a type of government where one person or group has absolute power. Wealth and corruption are often associated with this type of government. Torture is also a common practice in authoritarian regimes. So what does this mean for democracy worldwide? It's important to understand how authoritarianism works and how it can be used to control a nation. It's also important to remember that myths and melodrama can be used to manipulate people and make them believe in something that isn't true. That's all for now, Hussein. What news do you have for us?
Oh, today we have some interesting news. Tributes have been pouring in from around the world for Armen Soldin, the 32-year-old Agence France Presse journalist who was killed in Ukraine while reporting on the country's political turmoil. His death has been met with sorrow from his colleagues, the French nation, and international leaders. Armen was a brave journalist who was dedicated to his profession and risked his life to tell the truth about the Russian aggression in Ukraine. His colleagues gathered solemnly at the press agency's Paris headquarters to remember him, and a widely broadcast photo of Soldin, pictured in protective gear and smiling broadly with a cat on his shoulder, has plucked at the heartstrings of the French nation. The Paris prosecutor's office has launched an inquiry into war crimes over the journalist's death, and the priority now is to return Soldin's body to the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, so his family can safely take it out of the country and bring him home. Tributes have come from far and wide for the Sarajevo-born journalist who lived for many years in France. Denis Basirovic, a member of the Bosnian presidency, called him a journalist dedicated to his profession, who since the beginning of Russian aggression on Ukraine bravely reported to the public about events from this country. French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna paid a brief but emotional tribute to Soldin while speaking to reporters Wednesday, and UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's spokesman Max Blaine said Soldin's work in Ukraine was vital and that any death in this needless invasion is tragic. At least 10 media workers have been killed while covering the war in Ukraine, according to Reporters Without Borders and the Committee to Protect Journalists. This is a reminder of the dangers that journalists face when they are reporting on the truth and the fragility of democracy worldwide. Armen Soldin's death is a tragedy, and our thoughts remain with all those who have lost loved ones during this conflict. We must continue to shine a light in the darkness of this war and remember the brave journalists who risk their lives to tell the truth. Back to you, Emma.
Thank you, Hussein. We have some sad news to share today, but let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of nature and the wonders of the world. Let's travel to Fish Lake National Forest in Utah and listen to the gentle whisper of Pando, one of the largest trees in the world. At first glance, Pando looks like a swath of forest with thousands of individual trees, but in reality it's all one tree connected by a single root system. What started as one seed now spans 80 football fields and weighs some 6,000 tons. It's hard to wrap our heads around a tree this enormous, so our sources asked a sound conservationist to record the tree. What the sound conservationist found was amazing. The leaves had a percussive quality, and the wind blowing through the innumerable leaves created a low rumble. The vibrations passed through Pando's branches and trunks into the ground, making it feel like the earth was vibrating. The recordings also captured the bark and the landscape, creating a sonic snapshot of this Leviathan at this moment in time. But why is this important? Well, these recordings can be used as a baseline as the environment changes. They also help us understand the tree better and can be used to map Pando's labyrinth of roots. So next time you're feeling down, take a moment to appreciate the beauty of nature and the wonders of the world. Listen to the gentle whisper of Pando, one of the largest trees in the world. Who knows, it might just put a smile on your face.
Wow, Emma, that was amazing. What a beautiful way to appreciate nature and the wonders of the world. I'm sure it put a smile on our viewers' faces.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that these recordings can be used to map Pando's labyrinth of roots and as a baseline as the environment changes. Okay, what's our next news, Hussein?
Thank you, Emma. It's been a long time since Adidas and Kanye West had a working relationship, and it looks like Adidas has finally come up with a plan for its stockpile of Yeezy shoes. Instead of destroying them, the company has decided to sell them and donate the proceeds to charity. CEO Bjorn Gulden said that the company is still working out the details of how and when the sell-off will take place. It's unclear if Kanye West will get any payments from the sale of the Yeezy stockpile, and Gulden didn't go into detail about which organizations will get donations. This move by Adidas comes after the company cut ties with the rapper, halting production of Yeezy products and its payments to him. Adidas has taken a step in the right direction by donating the proceeds from the sale of the Yeezy stockpile to charity. This shows that the company is committed to making a positive impact on the world and protecting our planet and its resources. It's a great way to turn a negative situation into something positive. It's important to remember that Adidas had to take action after a group of investors filed a class action lawsuit against them. The lawsuit blamed the company for knowing about Kanye West's problematic behavior years before cutting ties with him and ending the collaboration. Adidas has taken the initiative to do something good with the Yeezy stockpile, and it's a great example of how companies can use their resources to make a positive difference in the world. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small.
That's great news, Hussein. It's nice to see Adidas taking a step in the right direction by donating the proceeds from the sale of the Yeezy stockpile to charity. What do you think?
Absolutely. It's a great example of how companies can use their resources to make a positive difference in the world. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter how small. Okay, what's our next news, Emma?
Thank you, Hussein. Adidas recently made a commitment to use the proceeds from their Yeezy stockpile to make a positive impact, which is a stark contrast to Trump's recent behavior. At a town hall event in New Hampshire, Trump claimed he had never met the writer E. Jean Carroll, who accused him of raping her in the 1990s. A jury found that there was enough evidence to prove battery and sexual abuse and awarded her a hefty sum. Trump called her a whack job and said she wasn't his type. He also said it was impossible to get a fair trial in New York, where the case was heard. It's the same city where he was born, raised, and spent most of his adult life. Trump has been lying about the 2020 election, claiming it was rigged, and he's facing criminal investigations in New York related to hush money payments and other matters. During the town hall, he lied multiple times and was unable to criticize Russia or its leader, wouldn't be specific about abortion, and defended people who participated in the Capitol riot. It's no surprise that Trump continues to lie and act out, as he's made his political career on bluster and provocation. His lies and outbursts have left many feeling uneasy, and it's clear that he's unable to reach out to those who don't already love him. Our sources have shown that Trump is toxic with independents and persuadable voters, and it's important to remember that facts matter. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope to see you again tomorrow.